Hello Commanders, welcome to the command table. My name is Matt, and we've got some fun stuff for you today. We have the same modifiers as last time around, but there's been a couple changes since then, and Krim has made a pretty incredible discovery. So we're gonna take a peek at that, but first, if you'd please be so kind as to like, subscribe, and if you want notifications when I drop new videos, be sure to hit that notification bell. Also, if you have any clever strategies that you'd like to add or comments, feel free to leave those below. So let's go ahead and show you what I've done this morning. I started off with the usual. Here is my main profile. I'm using force resistance. Oh, okay, we're going to go through apparently all the Powerstones. The block didn't seem to amount to much, but I've put Berserk on basically everything, and where there wasn't Berserk, I've got Run Speed 2. And this will get there very shortly. All right, and the Earthquake, max level, 20% of max health, 75% chance of being knocked up into the air and stunned for 2 seconds. That should go away momentarily. I tried to make it go away, and then it clicked something else, so it's kind of covering the boss's health. I apologize for that. But that should go away. There we go. So slowly chipping away, and you'll notice that when the spear hits, it does about 1% damage for every target that it hits. So that's something to make note of, because when we get to Krim's discovery, that's going to be useful to have in your memory bank. Okay, here is my second profile. Again, same deal. I'm using force resistance and power. And these unit levels are a lot lower than my main profile. I've got, like Wraiths, I've got units at 110, and Plaguebearers, I've got them at 110. So, not all of them, but I've got a few of them. So here, and again, just notice those spear hits. When they do manage to hit, it's about 1% for every target hit with a rank 3 spear. So we're able, we'll just go ahead and skip ahead towards the end here. We do end up getting the boss. Now, for the sake of demonstrating the random number generation element of this, exact same setup. Oh, a little bit different. I do have all Wraiths. So I figured I would try that because I've got double Berserk on every single Wraith, and we were going to see how that turned out. So a little bit different, with the exception of I've dropped 3 Plaguebearers and put in those last couple of Wraiths. And now you see it really start to crank, but it ultimately ends up not being enough. I get really close right here towards the end, and those couple of units that died made all the difference. I could have had it. So maybe if you put block on some of your units, you might be all right. But again, I'm not entirely sure how that's working with the Earthquake mechanic. It seems like it doesn't always catch it. Okay, so here's SR12. And these are mostly just showing you what my unit levels are so that you can see, oh, okay, if I've got comparable unit levels, or if I've got better unit levels, I can use maybe 1 less elixir, all that kind of stuff. So we'll get through that very quickly. Berserk on everything. And I'm using 3 elixirs on this one because the Earthquake is only 15% of the maximum health. So the time elixir can actually buy you some extra time to get the job done. Now, I think for this one, I managed to get it with just less than 10 seconds left, which means I can't really do it without the time elixir unless I want to ride the RNG rodeo. So, yeah, 11, 10, 9. Yep, see, I barely would have missed it if I hadn't had that time elixir on there. So that bought me the extra 5 seconds that I needed to get the heart. Now, it's probably less expensive to just use 2 keys, because if you're using 3 elixirs, that's the equivalent of a 45 gem spend, whereas buying a 10 pack of keys, you get it for 40 gems per key. So if you can do 2 runs with no elixirs and get more than 50% per run, that's less expensive using 2 keys as it is up to using 3 elixirs. Okay, so here is SR8, and then we'll get to Krim's discovery, and I'll link to Krim's video in the description, so feel free to check that out. But we'll just cover this real fast. No elixirs. Again, nothing fancy here. It's basically the same build. The Plaguebearers, they stack buffs on the Warhorn, and they push your units because they have more mass. They'll push your Warhounds around and give you better coverage and push them through the minions to give you more coverage of all the stuff there. So no elixirs required there. Again, pretty straightforward. Use all your Warhounds. Use at least 5 Wraiths. And then Plaguebearers, I think, are better than having 8 Wraiths. Having 3 Plaguebearers, you can use that push element to get your Warhounds some better coverage, because your Warhounds are the star of the show. Okay, so are you ready for this? Here it comes. Okay. Now I'll pause for just a second here. Let's get the unit levels. There we go. Okay, so I've just got 2 Frost Wizards and some Frost Knights, and that's it. There's nothing else. And what we're doing is we're using the Claw of the Frost Dragon, because we're going to try to freeze this whole front section here. We've got the Ring of Unity, which I'm not sure if that's crucial to the build. That's what Krim had. But the Spear of Cataclysm and the Claw, those are the 2 that we're focused on. The Claw of the Frost Dragon buffs like almost, I think it's like 200%. And then obviously the Spear, what you'll remember from the other encounters, at rank 3, it's doing about 1% damage per target hit. So we're using the Elixir of Accuracy, and then I've thrown on these 2. I don't know if they're totally necessary, because obviously you'd be using a lot more units than this. This is just a scientific experiment. So we've got the Elixir of Accuracy, and then these 2 are just to kind of increase the chance that I'll get hits with the Spear. So let's go ahead and watch. Okay, now these 3 unit groups are not going to hardly do any damage at all. So basically all the damage you're ever going to see is from the Spear, if it hits. Boom. Okay, there you go. 30% or 40% of the boss's health in one shot. There's another 18%. So between 2 hits, we've already done 58% of the boss's health. Boom. Look at that go. Now watch this. One last hit, and I should have it. If I can hit anything worthwhile, and I don't. I hit the bear at the bottom, leaving 1%. So not bad for 3 units. Again, that was using 3 elixirs though, but the whole point was that the Elixir of Accuracy, it does huge wonders for the Spear of Cataclysm, and the Claw of the Frost Dragon makes it to where some of the minions on the map and the boss can take a lot more damage. And you can see that actually in Krim's video, so I highly recommend that you go watch that. But anyway, that's all for today. Thank you for watching. Again, please do like and subscribe, and we will have more content for you soon.